Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yasharah's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do by now, we give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kadash, and the Akims and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity, all praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women, all praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, what I'm going to touch on today is one of them controversial topics. Whereas when me and my brothers are out bringing out the scriptures, or, we're talking about the Bible, when certain things come out that people didn't even know that was in the Bible. Like they said they believed first and foremost. They believe in the Bible and so forth. Now, when certain things that are read out of the Bible that they didn't even know was in the Bible, now they turn around saying, well, anyway, who wrote the Bible? Man wrote the Bible. Now they're trying to put the Most High's words into disrepute by trying to say, who wrote the Bible? Man wrote the Bible. Now they want to try to say, it's almost like it's a fictional book. That's what they're trying to say. Now, first and foremost, we're going to go into this lesson, actually, and I'm going to show you, according to scripture, who wrote the Bible and who inspired man to write what they wrote. So there's foremost where I'm going. My opening verse is going to be Exodus chapter 31, verse 18. And then we're going to go through some other scriptures, and we're going to see who wrote the Bible and who inspired men to write the Bible. Because, okay, you say, oh, man wrote the Bible, man wrote the Bible. Well, all right, let's even go on that premise. Now, you name me one book on this planet that man didn't write. Now, I'd like somebody who's one of them ones that are quick to try to discredit the Bible. Show me or name me one book on this planet that man did not write. You can't do it, yeah? And secondly, now, and this is another thing that kind of annoys me in a sense, and I'll show you this now. Now, people's quick to try to say, when you're reading these scriptures, now this is scriptures, this is from our forefathers. This book is for the Israelites, by the Israelites, to the Israelites, no other nation. When you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, that prophecy that Moses prophesied back in the wilderness after the children of Israel, when they were slaves in Egypt and they came out by the mighty hand of the Most High, they were now in the wilderness. Moses prophesied that the children of Israel, if you leave the laws and everything, the children of Israel will go back into slavery. But obviously he says back into, if you go into Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, he says we'll go back into Egypt. But Egypt is synonymous for slavery, because we were slaves in Egypt. So when he says back into Egypt, now he's saying back into slavery again with ships. Now he stresses that the mode of transport we're going to go back into slavery is on slave ships. Now, if you know anything of history, you know there's only a certain group of people that went into slavery on slave ships around the world, a transatlantic slave trade and the sub-Sahara slave trade. Only certain type of people went into slavery on slave ships and shipped around the world. Now, when you look at the prophecies that Moses was saying, you find out those people would be the Israelites today. Yeah, that's who they are. And another thing I would like to say, now when you're always quick to say, oh, who wrote the Bible? Man wrote the Bible, and want to discredit the Bible. Now, you're learning from your oppressors. Now, the people that took you into slavery and us into slavery, they've given us their history, their education, everything. And everything came out of books. You didn't question them books. So everything you learned from your oppressors, you never question. But the Bible, which is your history book, that you question. And then now you try to put it into disrepute to say, oh, who wrote it? Oh, man wrote it. Or it's a white man's book, and so forth and so forth. You come out with all these kind of, useless arguments. Yeah. But But when your slave master was giving you their history, their way of life, they tell you that if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a lawyer, if you want to drive or anything, this is what you have to do. Learn from this book. You're quick to do it without no question asked. And you don't say, oh, who wrote that? Is it true? You do it happily, and then you get your PhD, and then you feel big. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a this. Yeah? But it was all at their studying and at their beck and call. You didn't question that. But yet, your heritage that we lost through disobedience, that you're questioning. Because even if you jump to Deuteronomy chapter 68 and verse 37, it says, we'll become an astonishment and a byword amongst all nations. What's a byword? We're the only class of people that our nationality constantly changes. We were in slavery, we were niggers. Then we were Negroes. Then we were colored. Then we were African American, Afro-Caribbean, then we were Black British, now we're black. So you see, and look at that, the other nations, the Chinese man always been the Chinese man, the white man always been the white man, the Arab man's always been the Arab man, so, but it's only us that our nationality has changed, and that was prophesied by Moses also in the book of Deuteronomy. So it tells you who the Israelites are today. So this book is your history book. Do not turn your back on it and stop questioning it and learn and do what it says. That's the only way we'll get out of this, should we say, this still modern day slavery that we're in. We must turn back to the law, statutes, commandments and keep them with the faith of the only begotten Son, the one that you call Christ, which his correct Hebrew name is Yahushua, and the Most High correct Hebrew name is Yahweh. Now, I want to show you who wrote the Bible, because I want that put to bed. So when the Bible comes out, you stop questioning it. Just read it, understand it, and do as you are supposed to do. Yeah? Learn and apply. That's the whole point of these scriptures. That's the whole point of our forefathers, our foremothers, our forefathers left the blueprint to life, which the Most High made them write things down so we can have them and learn and do. That's the whole point of this. Now, without further ado, we're going to start with Exodus chapter 31 verse 18, and then we're going to go into some other scriptures, and let's see who wrote the Bible. Yeah, let's see who wrote the Bible. Now, with that said, I've got my timer and I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're away. Right, let's go straight there. The book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 18, and it reads, and this is Moses, yeah, in Mount Sinai, and listen to this. Exodus chapter 31, verse 18, and it reads, and he gave unto Moses, this is the Most High, and he gave unto Moses, when he had made an end of communion with him upon Mount Sinai, 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of God, with the finger of the Most High. So that's who wrote the Bible. So you see, that's the beginning stages of the Bible about to be written. The Most High gave him tables of stone with the commandments, which would have been the 10 commandments, and he would give him laws too, and eventually Moses would write down obviously what the Most High has told him to write down. But we're going to get into that, right? Watch this, yeah? Now, let's quickly jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 11. Listen to this. Psalms chapter 68 and verse 11, and it reads, Yahweh gave the word, great was the company of those that published it. Now it does say the Lord, but remember his correct Hebrew name is Yahweh. So it says, Yahweh gave the word, great was the company of those that publish it. So you see, the word came from the Most High, and obviously, through the Messiah, and was given to men, and men published it, men wrote it, and so which is what we have today, which is the set apart scriptures, the Holy Bible. Yeah. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Exodus, chapter 24 and verse 12. Listen to this. Exodus chapter 24 and verse 12. And it reads, and Yahweh said unto Moses, this is the Most High, and Yahweh said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and a law and commandment which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. So you see, that's what he was supposed to do. This, what the Most High gave him, he was supposed to teach the children of Israel. This is Moses, yeah? Right, so bear that in mind. Now, let's jump up to verse 4 of chapter 24. Now listen to this. Exodus chapter 24 and verse 4, and it reads, and Moses wrote all the words of Yahweh, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, what more can I say to that? You know what? I don't have to add nothing to that. That speaks for itself. Just want to show you who wrote the Bible. Now, I'm going to stay in Exodus 24 once again and jump to verse 7 into 8. Listen to this. Exodus chapter 24, verse 7, and it reads, and he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahweh has said, we do. So you see, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words. Now, before I move on from there, I want to show you something. Quickly, let me jump to the book of Deuteronomy. Just going to show you that this is an everlasting covenant. So it's not just was made with the children of Israel who was in the wilderness at that point. It's still made to the children of Israel, the descendants, right up to today. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verses, let's take it at verse 14. Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 14, and it reads, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. Verse 15, but with him that standeth here with us this day before Yahweh our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. The future generations, the children's down the line. That's what that's showing you. So you see, it's a generation thing, yeah? All the way down to today. And I was supposed to be taught it, my children and so forth down the line. It was supposed to be a generational thing. We have the book to learn from. Now watch this. Now this is Moses now. I'm going to just quickly read you Moses confirming all that I just read prior. Watch this, yeah? Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 10. Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 10, and it reads, and Yahweh delivered unto me 2 tables of stone, written with the finger of the Most High, and on them was written according to all the words which Yahweh spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. So showing you that just Moses confirming that who wrote it and who gave it to him, and he delivered it to the people, basically as good as. Now watch this. I'm going to stay in the book of Deuteronomy, jump to 31. Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 24. Listen to this. Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 24, and it reads, and it came to pass when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished. So you see, Moses wrote all that laws in the book until it was finished. That's how we have it today, known as the first 5 books of Moses, plus, you know, other books, of course, which we'll go into shortly. Now, watch this. Remember, after Moses, his predecessor would have been Joshua and so forth. Watch this now. I'm going to jump to the book of Joshua, just to prove that point also. Where are we? Joshua chapter 24 and verse 26. Listen to this. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 26, and it reads, "And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of the Most High, and took a great stone, and set it up there under an oak that was by the sanctuary of Yahweh." So showing you, see that? It clearly shows you that Joshua, Joshua, where we go? Joshua wrote all these words in the book of the law of the Most High. And in case you're wondering what book of the law of the Most High, we just clear that up quickly. Joshua 1 verse 8. Listen to this. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. This book of the law. So you see, it's this book, the very Bible. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do, action word, to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Boom, there you go, clear as glass. Let's jump to the book of 1 Samuel. I'm going to show you that, even another prophet, Samuel. So all these are prophets, yeah? Look, another prophet, Samuel chapter 10. 1 Samuel chapter 10. Verse 25. Listen to this. 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 25, and it reads, "Then Samuel told the people in the manner of the kingdom," here we go, "and wrote it in a book, and laid it up before Yahweh. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house." So showing you there again, Samuel wrote things down that he was told to do. And watch this, even Esther, I'll show you a female. Going to jump to the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 32. Listen to this. Esther, chapter 9 and verse 32. And it reads, "And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book." So that's how you know about Purim. So all these feast days as well, there would have been like even the Maccabees, when they ordained the feast day, they made a note of it in the book of Maccabees. Obviously, the Maccabees have been removed out of the Bible, but if you have the book of Maccabees, you'll find it in there, in its correct place. Now, let me show you another prophet, the mighty prophet Jeremiah. Watch this, yeah? Jeremiah chapter 30. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1. Listen to this. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1, and it reads, "The word that came to Jeremiah," hear this? "The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying," listen to this, verse 2, "Thus speaketh Yahweh, God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book." There we go, you see? Jeremiah. I'll just show you another one. Stay in Jeremiah again. Watch this. Jeremiah chapter 36, verses 1 and 2 again. Watch this. Jeremiah chapter 36 and verse 1, and it reads, "And it came to pass in the 4th year of Joachim, the son of Joash, king of Judah, that this word came unto Jeremiah." Hear this? This word came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying. So this word came to Jeremiah from the Most High. What did it say? It said this, verse 2, "Take thee a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto thee against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations, from the day I spake unto thee, from the days of Joshua, even unto this day." So it's just showing you, see, those are the men who wrote the Bible. You can't dispute that. And watch this, yeah? I'm going to jump to the book of Revelations. Yes, watch this. Revelations, watch this. John the Revelator was told to do something by Yahushua, which is one that you call Christ. Listen to this. Revelations chapter 1, verse 11. Listen to this, yeah? Revelations chapter 1, verse 11. And it's saying, red letters, so you know it's Yahushua, the one you call Christ, is speaking. Saying, "I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest write in a book. You hear that? And send it to the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, unto Smyrna, and you have to forgive my pronunciations. You can go to the verse and read these yourself. And unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodice, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But nevertheless, just showing the point, I really want to show you that John the Revelator was told what he see right in a book. So things were revealed to him, so he would write down what he saw. Now, watch this, yeah? Now we're gonna jump to the book of 2nd Ezra. Now, listen to this, yeah? 2nd Ezra we'll take it at chapter 14 and verses 21 into 22. Listen to this, yeah? This is when the Greeks came into power, and they were burning the Bible, so we didn't have our laws, so we can come to their fashion, and be like the heathen. Watch this, yeah? 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 21, and it reads, "For thy law is burnt, therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the work that shall begin." Now you see that? Verse 22. Listen to what Ezra said. This is what Ezra is saying now, praying to the Most High, saying, verse 22 of 2nd Ezra chapter 14. "But if I have found grace before thee, send the Holy Ghost unto me, and I shall write all that has been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in thy law, that men may find thy path, and that they which will live in the latter days may live." Now you see that? This is what Ezra said. Now we're going to jump down to verse 44. Watch this. Verse 44. Straight to 44. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 44. And it reads, "In 40 days they wrote 204 books." Hear that? In 40 days they wrote 204 books. Verse 45. "And it came to pass when the 40 days were fulfilled, that the highest spake, saying, The first that thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it." But listen to verse 46. Verse 46. "But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people." That's who wrote the Bible. I mean, come on. Watch this. Stay in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Listen to this. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. And it reads, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 1. "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh." So that's who's saying it. Saith the Lord, it says, but I say saith Yahweh. Verse 2. "And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Hear that? Cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Verse 3 of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and it reads, "Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." So those people who say, "Oh, man wrote the Bible, who wrote the Bible," and want to put this book into disrepute, he's saying, don't let them trouble you. You know who wrote it. You know your power, your faith. Continue in those things and don't worry about them other people. Verse 4, listen to this. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 4. "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness." Now that's what he's got for them. All them unbelievers who's unfaithful, they'll die in their unfaithfulness and their unbelief. Yeah? So you just hold steadfast to your ancestors' written record, which is your history, our history. Hold fast to them. Learn the laws, statutes, and commandments and do them. and have faith that in doing them, it will be well with you. So you have faith in the Son and you keep the commandments. Faith without works is dead, remember? So you have to have faith and works of the law to do them, and faith in the Son. Faith knowing that by doing them, it will be well with you as he has promised. Now, watch this. This is going to sum up everything now. I'm going to quickly jump to the book of 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 21. Listen to this. 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 21. And it reads, "For the prophecy came not in old times by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost." Now that's who wrote the Bible. Men that the Most High poured his Spirit upon, and they wrote and they gave utterance. Things, the visions he showed them, they wrote down. Things he told them and give them visions, they wrote down. That's how we have the Bible today. Now, let me quickly, I'm about to time out soon. Let me quickly jump to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 and verse 23. Listen to this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 24 and verse 23. And it reads, all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregation of Jacob. So you see, this is our heritage. It shows you clearly. So all this is our heritage. No one, other nation, but our heritage. So we must keep it and do them. Watch this, yeah? Quickly jump to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1 into 2. Watch this. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. Hear that? A law that endureth forever. So we must keep the laws forever. Listen to this. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. Remember, Jacob, his name was changed to Israel, and he had 12 sons, 12 tribes of Israel. So when it refers to Jacob, talking to the whole 12 tribes of Israel. I'll take it at verse 2 again. Baruch chapter 4, verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. So you see, we must walk in the light. Remember, the laws are light. Yeah? So that's what we must walk in. The laws, statutes, and commandments. They are light. What's that? I think that is Psalms. Is it Psalms 26, 23, or Proverbs 1 or 2? But nevertheless, no, it's Proverbs 6, 23. But I won't have time to read that. But I'll put it on the screen anyway. This is Yasharallah. I hope you got something with that. We out.